Hello from your National Weather Service office in Fort Worth. This is a winter weather briefing that was prepared around 1:15 p.m. on Sunday, February the 22nd. This briefing highlights the potential for winter weather across north and central Texas beginning late tonight, Sunday, into mid-morning Monday. Precipitation chances will remain near 100% for nearly much of north and central Texas this afternoon. Most areas will likely just experience a cold rain, but a light wintry mix consisting primarily of light freezing rain and maybe some sleet will be possible, mainly along and north of a Breckenridge to Jacksboro to Bowie line. At this time, we haven't received any reports of impacts, nor do we expect any impacts, at least through early evening tonight, with the potential for light wintry mix in the pink shaded region. Here's a graphic that depicts the current warning advisory configuration for all of our county warning area here across north and central Texas. The solid pink region denotes the winter storm warning, which goes into effect at around 6 p.m. This evening, and it will run through 6 p.m. On Monday evening. The main hazards in this pink shaded region will be light freezing rain. We could see ice accumulations of around 1/10 of an inch, but the real hazard will really be the sleet, and we could see sleet accumulations between 1/2 to 1 inch before all is said and done. The region in the pink hatched area is where we think that we will have the highest potential for thunderstorms, embedded thunderstorms, and these embedded thunderstorms will be very efficient at producing periods of moderate to heavy sleet. So if this occurs, we could see some of those sleet total accumulations of around 2 inches. In terms of the winter weather advisory, seen here in the purple, it runs from midnight tonight through 6 p.m. on Monday evening. Light icing can be expected with some sleet accumulations of around 1/2 an inch or so. Now, after the initial wave of precipitation departs the region this evening, we may still see some areas of very light freezing rain and freezing drizzle, primarily in the northwestern portion of our CWA. Now, the heavier precipitation, wintry precipitation, isn't expected to really develop until midnight, closer to this 4 a.m. time frame. Now, the images that you see here are just a model's depiction. This model is actually run at the Texas Tech University. This is just a model's depiction of what the radar may look like tomorrow morning. So the contoured regions are areas of radar reflectivity. The solid purple line is the region where we expect the approximate position of the 32-degree line is. So at 4 a.m., we do anticipate that wintry weather will begin to develop near the Abilene and Wichita Falls areas, and these will move east into the northwestern portions of our county warning area. So areas like Olney, just to the west of Jacksboro, these are areas that may start to realize some of those moderate impacts. Most of this precipitation during this time will be in the form of freezing rain and sleet. These areas with the orange and yellow, this is an area where the model is suggesting that we may see some of those embedded thunderstorms. And again, those thunderstorms will be very efficient at producing periods of moderate to maybe even heavy sleet. As we move toward the 6 a.m. time frame, the wintry weather will begin to likely overspread most of North Texas. So this is primarily along the Interstate 20 and 30 corridors and points northward. We see that 32-degree line has sagged a bit further south to encompass most of the DFW metro area. And so these elements, again, these reds and oranges, these are regions where we may be looking at the potential for some thunderstorms that will be capable of producing moderate to heavy sleet. And so it's during this time that we expect that the impacts will certainly be on the rise, and we do expect high impacts. Certainly we'll likely see some travel problems begin to develop on area roadways. Certainly those elevated structures and untreated structures will likely be covered in sleet. By 8 a.m., we see that the widespread precip continues to grow. That 32-degree line has now shifted towards the south. Most of the Waco region will be below 32. Temperatures near Killeen, Temple, the Fort Hood area will be likely falling down towards 32. Areas like Palestine, and Athens will likely also be below 32. And so again, we still expect that wintry precip will be ongoing and will continue through the mid-morning hours. Again, the main precipitation types will be light freezing rain and sleet. And so again, we still see kind of some hint of that convective type look to the model output, suggesting that we may still be dealing with some thunderstorm activity. Again, this is the time where we expect that the impacts will be fairly high, primarily on roadways, elevated structures. Any road that's untreated will likely become covered with sleet. As mentioned previously, sleet accumulations will generally range from half an inch to 1 inch. Those regions that do see thunderstorms and thunder sleet will likely see higher amounts, and some of those totals could be closer to this 2-inch mark. Areas to the south will generally be looking at a quarter of an inch to maybe half an inch of total sleet accumulation. In addition to the threat for wintry weather, temperatures will also be quite cold. Air temperatures will fall into the 20s and 30s, but with the stiff north wind of around 15 to 25 miles an hour, we see that wind chills on Monday morning will likely be in the single digits and the teens. So this purple shaded area, this is the region where we think that wind chills are going to be below 10 degrees. This blue region here is closer toward the teens, and then we may even see some teens and 20s down across southern portions of our forecast area. So with these very cold wind chills, you definitely want to remember to cover exposed skin. If you have to go out, dress warmly, put on multiple layers, and if you have any outdoor pets, you definitely want to check up on them. It may actually just be a good idea to just bring them inside. Now, the cold conditions will likely persist over the next 1 to 2 days, and some locations will not rise above the freezing mark until late Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. So areas across the northwestern portion of our forecast area will likely see nearly 2 days of sub-freezing temperatures. Areas towards the south won't be quite as cold for quite as long, but still looking at a prolonged period where temperatures are below 32. And so what this means is that a lot of the ice that accumulates on Monday may not melt until Wednesday. And so if we have any type of partial melting that occurs Tuesday afternoon, it's likely going to refreeze Tuesday evening and into Wednesday. So we could still be looking at impacts from the winter weather event several days after the last ice pellet has fallen. So in summary, we are fairly confident that high impacts due to a combination of light freezing rain, a period or two of moderate to heavy sleet with those thunderstorms, and very cold temperatures will occur. We feel that the most likely area shaded here in this purple region will generally be along a line from Cisco to DFW up toward Bonham. This is the area that we expect high impacts due to the accumulation of sleet and ice, as well as very cold temperatures. Again, those wind chill values are going to be in the single digits. Areas to the south outlined here in the orange and the yellow, we still expect moderate to high impacts due to the accumulation of sleet and ice, as well as those wind chills. So again, for the expected hazards, you can expect slick and hazardous road conditions. We may see some accumulation of ice on power lines and trees. And again, certainly those cold temperatures and those feel-like temperatures are going to be, those feel-like temperatures are really going to be in the single digits and into the teens. So in summary, travel will likely become difficult and hazardous, and this will really become apparent after midnight and through Monday morning. Bridges and overpasses will likely experience icing first, especially with the onset of the light freezing rain. The freezing rain may also accumulate on power lines, certainly trees and cars, other exposed surfaces. With respect to the power lines, we only expect sporadic outages, as the transition to sleet should be fairly quick. It'll be certainly quicker in areas that see thunderstorms, and again, those thunderstorms will be very efficient at producing a large quantity of sleet. Less traveled roads and untreated roads will likely become slick and hazardous, especially along and north of the Interstate 20 corridor, but west of the Interstate 35 corridor. That's the area that we are really monitoring for very high impact winter weather event. Now, outside of the wintry precipitation, temperatures will likely stay below freezing for quite some time. Again, we could see some areas experience below freezing temperatures for nearly 48 hours. And so this prolonged period of cold weather will really hinder the ability for ice to melt, and this process really may be delayed until early Wednesday. Any melting that does occur Tuesday evening or Tuesday night will likely refreeze on early Wednesday morning, and so we could still be dealing with some travel impacts on Wednesday morning. So really preparations for this event should be rushed to completion by this evening and certainly by tonight, as conditions will likely deteriorate rather quickly from that point on. Thank you for joining us for this multimedia briefing. If you have any questions or are in need of more information, you can certainly visit us on the web at weather.gov/Fort Worth. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at sr-fwd.webmaster@noaa.gov. You can also find us on social media. We're at U.S. National Weather Service Fort Worth on Facebook, and then you can also follow us on Twitter at NWS Fort Worth. Thanks and have a great day.